Ladies and gentlemen, the following podcast is set for one episode. Your host from Columbus, Ohio, is Michael Kirk. Welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast. Hello and welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast, your digital audio dirt sheet for all things Super Show. Top story this week, the upcoming Create a Competitor Tournament, Sunshine Smackdown 2025, happening this upcoming Saturday, March 1st, at House Rules Gaming in Kissimmee, Florida. Tickets currently available for sale at the House Rules Gaming website, $35 for your entry. Let me run through some information about this event. The booked list. All of the competitors in the World Division are booked. All of the competitors on the Hall of Fame list are booked. You can find the World Division competitor list in the featured post section of the SRG Super Show discussion group on Facebook. You can find the Hall of Fame competitor list on srgpc.net. The Hall of Fame list is a list of all of the competitors that have been used to win past Create a Competitor tournaments. That's the booked list for the main Create a Competitor tournament. There will be Swiss rounds, 4 to 5 depending on attendance, and then there will be a cut to either the top 16 or the top 8, again depending on attendance. The following stipulations are possible for all of the rounds of the top cut except for the finals: Steel Chain, Steel Cage, Ring of Fire, and Liger's Den. Those are the 4 we could see in the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and potentially a top 16 round. The finals match is going to be a tables, ladders, and chains match. That's what we know about the tournament. There are also going to be a number of featured matches. Here's the list of featured matches in no particular order. There's going to be a match for the LFF Underworld Championship. The challenger, the LFF chiropractor playing as Kota Ibushi, the champion, Commissioner Drew Madsen, playing as Mimic. There's going to be an LFF Trios Championship match. The challenger, Arcade Addict Aaron, playing as the My Girls Trio. He will challenge champion Ron Rumble, champion with the family. LFF Tornado Tag Team Championship match. Challenger Slade Holiday challenging with Philadelphia. Champion Reverend Goodbrains with the Corner Office. There's also going to be a match for a future shot at the LFF Tornado Tag Team Championship. The New York Phenom as Twisted Aggression will face the Flame Fighter as Sami Callihan and Madman Fulton. The winner gets a future shot at the LFF Tornado Tag Team Championship, currently held by Ron Rumble. And then finally, there will be an open challenge for the local FCW Championship. Reverend Goodbrains, the current champion, will take on any challenger he can fit in the day. We may also have the LFF United States Champion, Steve Resk, make an appearance. And going from memory, I think Bob Dunn would be the challenger. If I remember this incorrectly, I apologize. This is not a match that is scheduled to happen. It might happen. We'll have to see. There could even be a surprise challenger. We don't know. Because as of right now, there's no guarantee the LFF United States Champion will be at Sunshine Smackdown 2025. The next day, March 2nd, if you're still there, I believe they're going to be holding a Deep South Tag Team Tournament, and they'll have open play. Again, as always, cards subject to change. That is what I currently have scheduled for Sunshine Smackdown 2025. We also have some of the promo cards that have been spoiled. They were shown on the last episode of Talk of the Universe. If you want to see what those look like, I would suggest watching that on Twitch or on YouTube. Let me read off what these cards do. There's going to be an entrance card. No takebacks at House Rules Gaming. Once per match, when your target would move any number of cards from their discard pile to their deck, they do not move any cards. So this would be an effect that allows you to take a card from discard and shuffle it back, put it on top. This would even include when you pass your turn and you have to bury a card. This will prevent you from burying that card. That's what this entrance does. There's going to be a card at number 15, a follow-up submission, the most magical hold. Reveal the top 2 cards of your deck, choose one, and play it as an additional card this turn. To my knowledge, this can't violate the limit of being able to only hit 2 cards during your offensive turn. I wanted to mention that because it reads like it's mandatory. Like if I hit Call to the Crowd, where I could play another card during my turn, played this, I would not then be able to play one of the cards off the top of my deck. That's the way I read this, that it won't violate that rule. If for some reason I'm wrong in that, I will say something, but that's the way I read that. The final promo card I have, Learning the House Rules, follow-up strike at number 13. It's a stop card. If your agility skill is greater than your opponent's agility skill, stop any follow-up grapple or finish grapple. When you stop a card, the stopped card has blank text until the end of the turn. This is the agility version of Banhammer Block. That looked at the strike skill, this looks at the agility. And then there was one other card shown on Talk of the Universe. I don't think this is a promo. I think this is a new competitor debuting. It's a new version of the trio Think Tank. The art features the Brain Still Standing, HR, and the Ringleader. The competitor logos are the Brain Still Standing, the Corner Office, and an unreleased tornado tag, Thinky and the Brain. The skills, Power 30, Technique 18, Agility 15, Strike 27, Submission 24, Grapple 21. The gimmick, if your opponent won the last turn roll, or rolled their highest skill this turn roll, you may re-roll your turn roll. If you re-roll a turn roll and roll the same skill, your opponent must bury a random card in their hand. Those are the cards that are coming out either as promos or new releases that we're aware of as part of Sunshine SmackDown 2025. The last thing I have related to Sunshine SmackDown news, we have learned who the next challenger for the LFF Trios Championship will be after the match between champion Ron Rumble and challenger Arcade Addict Aaron. The winner of that match, whether it's and still or and new, will face Chris Pate using the NWO Trio at a future date and time to be named later. After Sunshine SmackDown, the next big creative competitor tournament, Pixel Palace Pandemonium, March 14th. Tickets for that currently on sale on supershowthegame.com under the event section. Not the online event, the event section. $30 for those tickets. I'm still gathering information about Pixel Palace Pandemonium. In the past, the only thing they have booked are competitors that have won their tournament. Normally, all other competitors legal, subject to 2020 vision. There are also usually no stipulations except for the finals, which is a main event stipulation match. I will give you more on Pixel Palace Pandemonium when I have it as we get closer. Since I mentioned the promos for Sunshine SmackDown shown on Talk of the Universe on the last episode, they also showed some Super Lucha competitors. Their finishers. If you want to check that out, check out the last episode of Talk of the Universe. And before I leave the topic of creative competitor tournaments, there was a featured match from last week's creative competitor tournament at Rip and Ship Arena that I missed, the Deep 6 Championship match. This was a main event stipulation match. The challenger, the Flame Fighter, playing as the Zero Win champion, The champion, the prize fighter Simon Davner, playing as the Shadow Phoenix. Hard fought match from the challenger. It goes to crowd meter 4. The winner, still champion, the prize fighter. Congratulations to Simon Davner for winning that match. It was not streamed, so I just was not aware that it took place. Learned about it after the fact. Wanted to bring it up. There we go. Next bit of news, update on the challenge system. SRG Universe has been using the website challenge.com. It's spelled like challenge, but instead of the first E after the second L, it's CHALLONGE. That's how you spell it. They've been using that for tournament signups, and they're going to use it to sort of track player ratings for Project Spider to see what competitors are being used the most often and how they're doing in the tournaments. Are the same competitors winning regularly? And use that data to help better determine the World Division and the Underworld Division. The top 32 competitors and then the next 64 to round out the top 96 competitors, singles competitors in Super Show the Game. This past Friday, the CFO for SRG Universe, Griff Briggs, and his wife Jennifer Briggs held a Zoom meeting. That meeting was recorded. You can watch it. The link to watch it is on the SRG Super Show discussion group on Facebook. Here are some notes I took about the meeting. They want local playgroups to create communities and then use the communities to record the results of their local tournaments. Each local community, when they create their community, can select 2 people to act as affiliates. When they create their community, they will need to send the link for that community to Jennifer Briggs so she can update challenge on SRG Universe's end. I'm assuming you can reach out to Jennifer Briggs through Facebook Messenger at Jennifer Bell or South Bell. Griff Briggs, if you have to reach out to him, griffbriggs at srguniverse.com. I believe those are the contact information for them. I'm not sure if there's a Jennifer Briggs at srguniverse.com. So they're going to make local representatives affiliates through Challenge. They're also going to do the same for every LFF Championship General Manager. They will also become affiliates in the Challenge system. They're going to ask players to use Challenge to sign up for local tournaments, for creative competitor tournaments, for convention tournaments. I can tell you that for Sunshine SmackDown, there is currently a link on Challenge to sign up for that tournament. Also to sign up for the Deep South Tag Team Tournament they're running, I believe, on March 2nd. So that's already kind of being done. They will have tablets at conventions, so people, if they don't have a device, they can register on site through Challenge. SRG Universe is planning on providing that. This also means that tournaments kind of have to be created ahead of time. So we'll start to see things like Monday night fights and Thursday night fights in Challenge. They're asking people to create tournaments up to 48 hours before the actual tournament is supposed to happen. SRG Universe has been working closely with Challenge to implement a number of features. We're going to see the first changes to Challenge for SRG Universe happen in about a month. They will reset the current player rankings when that happens. They're treating this as like a season 0, and what's going to happen is we will see seasons in Challenge. And from what I took away from that, every time Project Spider makes an update, that will trigger a new season. So we'll have a season with the current World Underworld division. Then when that changes, another season will start. That's how seasons will change. And the seasons will use the new rankings. Other features they're working on, tiebreakers. They're asking people to use strength of schedule, what's called buckles, in Challenge. It's not set to default to strength of schedule, but you can change the settings to make it strength of schedule. They're also working on creating the option for triple threat, for triad matches in Challenge. That's not something that currently exists, but they're working on it. They're also working on creating bullet rounds. They're not going to call them bullet rounds. They're going to call them speed rounds. If you're familiar with SRG Universe convention play, they usually use bullet rounds in their tournaments. They pair everyone up in their first match to start. When you finish your match, you go in and you report your matches. And then they will pair you up into another match as soon as possible. So there won't be a Swiss round and then another Swiss round. It'll be match, 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 match until you're done. They're going to be working on that. They're going to call them speed rounds in Challenge once they're done. The way that'll work when they're using speed rounds in Challenge will actually pair the next match. Until that happens, you can do it in Challenge. You have to do it manually. There's also a setting in Challenge to make a tournament not count toward the rankings. If you're just doing a fun tournament that you don't want to be seriously considered as factoring in to the World Underworld Division discussion, you can turn the rankings off in a tournament you create. They're working on developing a system for tag team matches. They're working on developing a system for league play. If you don't do a strict tournament format, right now, though, you can work around it through some manual things, but that's currently where the system is. Those were the highlights for me from that. Again, if you want to watch the whole meeting, the link to the recorded meeting is on the SRG Super Show discussion group on Facebook. Those are the big stories for this week. A couple of other things I have. We have some news on the Midwest Coast front. The Midwest Coast is going to hold an online tag team tournament where the winner of that tournament will get a shot at the Midwest Coast Tag Team Championship. If you want to sign up a team for the tournament, you'll need to send a message to the general manager, James Booker. You have to send him who's going to be on the team and what competitors you're going to be using for that. The deadline, unfortunately, is the day I'm recording this, February 23rd, so this news is probably going to get to you too late. But if you happen to hear this shortly after I publish it on the 23rd and you want to sign up, you can. Maybe James Booker will take late signups. I don't know. I wouldn't promise that. Unfortunately, this news did not come out soon enough for me to talk about it on last week's show. There's been an announcement for the next LFF Hardcore Championship match. The next match is going to feature challenger Ref Dave playing as hardcore Alexander Slamilton take on champion the Italian Bombata playing as Spencer Vance, the Boatswain's mate, in a main event no disqualification match. Main event stipulation normally has countouts and has disqualifications. It will be a no disqualification version of that. I'm assuming a no countout version as well. I do not know for sure. With that, let's talk about the online tournaments and featured matches from this past week. I'll start with Monday Night Fights. 8-player tournament, group stages, 2 groups, 4 players per group. Each player played the other 3 in the group. Top 2 records per group advance to the top cut. Your top 4 end up being in 4th place, playing as Nyrab, Woken Dragon God, I believe the new version, Brian, wait for it, Schmidt. In 3rd place, playing as the Kickstarter version of D2, Commissioner Drew Madsen. In 2nd place, playing as Theo the Greek Neo, the original version, Ricky Riot. And the winner of Monday Night Fights, playing as Father Light, one of Father Light's followers, Elder Dan. Thursday, we have Chibi's Thursday Night Fights. Underworld Division Tournament, 16 players, group stages, 4 groups, 4 players per group. Each player plays the other 3 in the group. Top 2 records advance to the top cut. In the quarterfinal round, all of the matches are New York Rules matches. In the semifinal round, there are Beast Unchained matches. The finals match is a submission match. Your semifinalists are the Foreman as Vampire Hunter Foreman and the Italian Bombata as the Italian Bombata. Your finalists are Ricky Riot as Theo the Greek Neo, the original version, and Colby Cram as Yamada Hama, with the winner, Ricky Riot. Congratulations to Ricky Riot for winning Chibi's Thursday Night Fights. Friday night, there's a grudge match on Candy Shop Talk featuring Bjorn the Norseman playing as King Bjorn versus Swaggy D playing as Swaggy D. This was a long match. It goes all the way to Crowd Meter 5. The winner of the grudge match at Crowd Meter 5, Bjorn the Norseman. Congratulations to King Bjorn for winning the Friday night Candy Shop Talk grudge match. Saturday, we have what's going to be the first in a series of monthly tournaments Ron Rumble is going to be running, Saturday Night Rumble. In this week's Saturday Night Rumble, we had 16 players sign up and play in the tournament. They did group stages, 4 groups, 4 players per group, New York rules matches in the group stage. So all the matches were no disqualification, countouts allowed, and they started at Crowd Meter 1. After the group stages, they cut to a top 8. In the quarterfinal round, all the matches were Ring of Fire matches that started at Crowd Meter 3. In the semifinal round, the matches were steel chain matches that started at Crowd Meter 1. The finals match was a tables match that started at Crowd Meter 1. Your semifinalists here were Eddie Fury, playing as Eddie Fury, and General Lee Wong, playing as the new version of General Lee Wong. The finalists were Colby Cram as Yamato Hama, and the Foreman as Vampire Hunter Foreman, with the winner, Colby Cram. As a result of winning the Saturday Night Rumble tournament with a competitor from the United States Division, per the United States Division General Manager Brock Smith, Colby Cram is going to get a shot to potentially win a shot at the United States Championship. Now, there was a certain threshold of competitors where, if that was met, the winner of this would just get a shot at the championship period. They wouldn't have to win a match or matches to get the shot. We don't know if that threshold was crossed here. But congratulations to Colby Cram for winning and getting himself in a situation to potentially get a shot at the LFF United States Championship. Sunday, we had Sunday Night Fights. Before I get to Sunday Night Fights, quick correction. I misstated the date for Pixel Palace Pandemonium, the Creative Competitor Tournament at Pixel Palace Games. It's March 15th at Pixel Palace Games in Powell, Ohio. Not the 14th, it's Saturday, March 15th. Now to Sunday Night Fights. 3 matches on the match card for Sunday Night Fights. The opening match for the Deep South Tag Team Championship. The challengers, the tag team Ironic. Nick Nimble playing as the Italian Bombata, Rowdy Ron playing as Rowdy Ron. The champions, Fault Line. Hold the Line Harry playing as Shui, Ron Rumble playing as Zonda. This was a long, hard-fought match, went around an hour, went to Crowd Meter 3. The winners at Crowd Meter 3, new champions, Ironic. This was a very hard-fought match for them. It looked, for a long time, like the champions had the advantage. The challengers were unable to double-team for a large portion of the match, but they kept fighting, and in the end, they walk away at Crowd Meter 3, the new Deep South champions. Congratulations to Ironic. Their first challengers as champions will be the 2024 Tag Team of the Year, the Protectors of the Light, Brimelight and Titan. No date or time yet, but those are the next challengers. The second match of the night was for the Deep South Championship, the Singles Championship. The challenger, the former Deep South Tag Team Champion, current LFF Trios and LFF Old School Champion, Ron Rumble. He was challenging with his own competitor, Mr. Rumble. The champion, and also the Hollywood Heavyweight Champion, Simple Chuck. Simple Chuck defending with Johnny Kareem. Much shorter match does go to Crowd Meter 1. The winner at Crowd Meter 1, still champion, Simple Chuck. Congratulations to Simple Chuck for a successful defense. The final match of the night was for the LFF World Heavyweight Championship. The challenger, Candyman Dan, playing with the Ikuzo version of Fox Assassin. The champion, longtime champion, Yasmin, champion with Runtime Terror. This was a dark match. Cards in the discard pile were blank. No disqualifications, no countouts. Because of the recent disqualification retentions, the decision was made to require Yasmin to defend in no disqualification matches. The challenger uses the entrance, jumps the bell. If the challenger wins the first turn roll, the entrance card, in this case the LFF World Heavyweight Championship belt card, would be blank for the match. There briefly was a question, does blanking the card prevent the card from changing hands? Because it would potentially blank the text that says that the opponent becomes champion if they win by pinfall, submission, or special finish. It was ruled that it would not blank that part. It would only blank the part that gave Yasmin +2 to a skill of her choice from the strike, grapple, or submission skill. The challenger successfully jumps the bell, deactivates that portion of the LFF World Heavyweight Championship belt card. The match continues. It does not go past Crowd Meter 0. It's the shortest match of the night. At Crowd Meter 0, Candyman Dan ends up playing his own disqualification finish, Loaded Gut Punch. Of course, in this case, if it were stopped, he would not lose the match via disqualification. That particular finish card gives him 3 10s. At Crowd Meter 0, he rolled one of the 3 10s, and Yasmin was not able to break out. And so the winner and new LFF World Heavyweight Champion, Candyman Dan. Congratulations to Candyman Dan for becoming the new LFF World Heavyweight Champion. Honorable mention to the former champion, Yasmin, who's had a long, successful, historic, memorable run as champion. I expect we'll see her in the title picture again before we know it. That was what we have for Sunday Night Fights. As far as tournaments coming up for next week, the Monday Night Fights tournament is currently up on Challenge. So if you want to pre-register for that, you can. There should be Dojo Tuesday night, twitch.tv/SRGuniverse. There should be Talk of the Universe Wednesday night also on the Twitch channel. We may have Tea Time hosted by T, who recently had surgery. Happy to see the surgery went well for him. We should have Chibi's Thursday Night Fights on Thursday. There will be no Expanding the Universe this week. There will be on the Big Picture Premium Twitch channel Candy Shop Talk on Friday. There will be a tag team match for the Tea Time Tag Team Championship. There may be an episode on that channel Wednesday night of Ignite. We will have to see. Finally, we have some breaking news as the show is about to be published. First, there's an update on the LFF Tri-State Tag Team Championship. There are going to be 2 championship matches next month. In the first match, the champions, young, smart, and financially stable, will attempt to defend against the team of Candy Norris, Candy Vikings, not 100% sure on the name, the team of Candyman Dan, and the Norsemen. Later on, next month, that's March, whoever the champions are, those champions will defend against the tag team of Matty Bar 1 and Johnny Eldorado. The second bit of breaking news I have is an update regarding the 2024 Create a Competitor competition. we have a date for the finals. Card subject to change, of course, but the date where the committee, whoever that committee ends up being, the panel of judges assembled by Steve Resk and Pat Mulligan, that panel will look at the videos submitted by Rainbow Apocalypse, The Misfit, and Ron Rumble, and they will choose a winner from the three in the first ever CCC Triad Finals. With the deadline of March 19th, the three finalists have until March 12th to create their final promo videos and send those in so they can be presented to the judges. These promo videos can be no longer than 5 minutes. That is what we have. We have an end for the 2024 CCC, the finals, card subject to change, March 19th. With that being said, that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Outlaw Mudcast. I would like to thank all of you for listening, and good day.